All right. Testing, 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 testing sound. Testing sound. Everybody hear me? All right. Welcome, everybody, to a rare Friday night episode of Custodes Tactica. Emergency edition. I think I've done this once before. Emergency edition. I think when they announced, it might have been when they announced Wrath of the Spider or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, so we've had some leaks from the Shadow Throne box. Now, I think they were official NDAs now over video review, but it has since gone private off YouTube. It was so I'm not sure what happened there. We know it's pre-order, so yeah, maybe he broke NDA slightly early. Anyway, that video is now private, but we have captured the information for all you out there. In case you missed it, there are pictures floating around on the Discord and a written summary by Mr. Funktastic, which is cool. So do check it out on the Discord if you missed that leak video. I'm sure it's going to be like tomorrow or something. The box goes up for pre-order, I think, this weekend. So it's probably on its way anyway. But, okay, so welcome to the chat. We got Stephen Payne, DJ Fidel Castro, all the way from Cuba, Frozen Warrior, Thurgood, Jeremy's here, Striker, the usual suspects. Okay, so we're going to go straight into these leaks from the Shadow Throne box. There's been mostly positive reaction from the Discord, some negative, some tentative, and of course we don't know all the rules, but this is some nice hints at the rules in these few datasheets that we get. I think it's fair to say that these datasheets are exactly the same as what will appear in the Codex. It does say on some of the datasheets, it references the Codex Adeptus Custodes. So we'll see. I guess they could change from the box to the book, but that's probably unlikely. And then on top of the Shadow Throne leaks, we have a Trajan leak. So we will talk about that as well. Okay. Now, keep in mind, there may be errors, but these leaks were taken from the video while it was still up, as well as trying to read potato camera pictures. I personally have been unable to read these pictures, even on a big screen magnified, because the resolution is too low. But apparently some people have better eyes than me and have been able to read these things. So we're going to go over these things now. Should be fairly accurate. Okay. So, this is basically the booklet of rules that you're going to get with the Shadow Throne box. So it's only going to cover units in the box, and we get some bonus. We get all three types of sisters, obviously, because you can build all three types in the box. And we have Vexilla rules for the Alarus Vexilla, because you can build that from a box of Alarus Terminators. And the captain as well. So, and then, of course, the champion. So we got quite some sneak peeks, but no strats, no army rules, nothing like that. So the first thing to say is that the Aegis of the Emperor rule still exists and is on many of these data sheets, the Custodes ones, not the Sisters ones. And so we don't know what that means, the Aegis of the Emperor. Now, if you remember, I believe Aegis of the Emperor was the 5-up invuln save, and then it's the Emperor's Chosen that went to 4-up. So Aegis of the Emperor may still just be 5-up invuln save. In fact, probably that's what it is, but we'll see. Don't know. But that rule is still on all the datasheets. The new rule that's on all the datasheets, of course, is martial kata, which we already knew. And of course, martial kata do not affect the sisters. Okay, so we got the datasheet for the Blade Champion, which has confirmed is in fact an HQ choice, as people presumed, since you need to be able to play him in the box. The box needs an HQ, so the Blade Champ is an HQ, which is a very interesting then decision for us to make. He has been told now yesterday or the day before that he's going to be 110 points. which is a pretty competitive point value for us. That's around the same points as an Alarus captain, although we don't know if the Alarus captain has changed points. We know what he's going to be like now, but we don't know if he's changed points. But that was around where an Alarus captain would fall, a little bit more than a Vexilla. Vexilla is still an elite. So as an HQ choice, now that does give you an option of running captain or a blade champion or maybe one of each. So that competition for the HQ spot is a little heated up. Now you also got a sister HQ. So battalions are looking more like what people are going to want to run these days because you need more HQ slots now, or at least like double patrol, but then you might as well just run a battalion. So it looks like battalion is going to be the thing that people try initially since we got more HQs and easier troops. So HQ slot confirmed 7 wounds and confirmed, unfortunately, as we had predicted, 3-up save because he ain't got no armor. He's wearing a skirt. He looks like he's wearing Venatari armor, basically. So he will have a 3-up save, but of course he gets extra save if he's fighting, which is okay, but doesn't help him against bolters. Or las guns or stupid stuff like that. But anyway, so it is what it is. He's got 3-up save, and I just wanted to bring up his data sheet to see if we can see how much he moves. I couldn't see how much he moves. If anyone can remember what his movement is, that would be cool. But I don't think it's 12 inches like Ventari have, unfortunately. So even though he's not wearing pants, he's not moving super fast. Okay, and then a new rule on his datasheet now that we see his whole datasheet is martial inspiration. Every time a shield host unit declares a charge against an enemy unit that he's fighting, they get +1 to charge. So, okay. That's okay. So it's a rule that's going to help you sometimes +1 to charge. I won't say no to +1 to charge. The only thing is you have to charge the same unit, but that's not necessarily a huge restriction. It's going to be a pretty big unit though, because this champion's going to be able to knock a few things off, but it'll get your guys into engagement with a +1 to charge. And of course you can charge multiple things, and as long as you declare against that unit, you get +1 to charge. So +1 to charge, I won't say no to that. We have very few things that give us extra charge in our current book, so anything is helpful. Okay. Sisters. So in the box, of course, you get the basic squad of sisters, which can be bolter girls, flamer girls, or sword girls. So the all sisters now no longer have, so they are core, but they only share Imperium keyword with Custodes. There's no Talons of the Emperor keyword or anything like that. It's just Imperium keyword. So that's interesting. They are, of course, core, and they have this new rule called Daughters of the Abyss, which we don't know what that is. Weirdly enough, there was a scan of the battle rules, and the first page was GSC battle rules and not the Custodes rules, which is very annoying. But anyway, so we don't know what Daughters of the Abyss is. It's probably a new version of Psychic Abomination, or maybe just a couple of rules mixed in. Who knows? We have no idea. It was entirely possible Psychic Abomination changes. It wasn't a super great rule anyway, so we'll have to figure out eventually what Daughters of the Abyss is. So prosecutors, which are the bolter girls, and vigilators, which are the sword girls. No real changes there. The witch seekers, which are the flamer girls, have changed. Their flamers are now AP1. They're still normal strength 4 flamers, 1 damage, but they're now AP1. And they have a new rule called the Seeker Cadre. And the Seeker Cadre says it gives them a scout move. So before the game starts, this unit or one transport unit that is embarked in, i.e. a rhino, can move up to 6 inches. And it has to stay more than 9 away from models. So we get sisters and rhinos scouting forward, which is super good, except that we got to take flamer girls. But that's okay, I guess, because the flamer's actually better than the bolters. if you're in range. I think they're probably just normal. I can't remember seeing the data sheet. Is it 12-inch flamers? I don't know, something like that. So I think that's pretty good. So I think Bolter Girls maybe, well, Bolter Girls are still going to have a role because, of course, they're the troops, and these Flamer Girls are fast attack. So that fast attack slot is heavily contested. You got Venatari and we got Bikes. So who knows? But that is a very compelling choice for fast attack, is a couple of units of Scouting Sisters to put some early pressure on the midfield. So that is super interesting. And they got Flamers, Bolters, whatever they have. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, Scouting Sisters. Hans Yolo, welcome. Yes, Hans Yolo. The Bolter Girls are troops. The Sword Girls are elites. And the Flamer Girls are fast attack. That was spoiled last week. Okay. So the swords are strength +2, so they're going to be strength 5, -3, 2 damage. So, sure, okay, whatever. I don't think you're going to use them personally. And the Bolter Girls are unchanged. Okay, Flamers 12-inch. I think all the Flamers are 12-inch now. So that's pretty good. It's all right. So a Flamer at 12-inch is better than their Bolters at 12-inch. So that's acceptable. Okay. Alarus Terminators. So, stats-wise, they are unchanged. They still have 4 wounds, and they're still 4 attacks. A lot of people are disappointed about this. People thought we were getting extra wounds across the board. We'll see. I don't believe Guardians went up wounds, or we didn't get that previewed, but they thought that our Terminators might go up. I don't know. It's rumored our Bikes might go up. The Terminators obviously have not gone up, and they are still 4 base attacks. So it is what it is. We'll see what their points are. They are 3 power each now. So maybe the points has come down. I hope so. I think that's not unreasonable. So a couple of small changes on the Alarus. First of all, the grenade launcher is now 18 inches instead of 12 inches, which is great. An extra 6 inches on the grenade launcher is super nice. And they are now strength 5 instead of strength 4. So that is a big buff. I mean, people are like, well, it's only strength 5. Strength 5 is better than strength 4. It wounds Marines on 3s instead of 4s. It wounds Orcs on 4s now instead of 5s. So it's decent. And it's still AP3, 1 damage, and it's still Assault D3 with Blast. So against a big unit, it's still putting out 3 shots each guy. Assault, so moving, advancing, and shooting at 18-inch range. So that's going to put out a lot of horde clearing capability. Who knows if there's strats for it or not? Don't know. And people are saying, well, it'd be good for sniping characters. Well, we don't know that they still have a strat to snipe characters for now, but the Ballista's Grade launcher getting buffed to strength 5 is fine. I'm going to accept a buff. The axes, unfortunately, people have remained haven't remained the same. Of course, they're not D3 damage, but they are flat 2, not flat 3 damage. They are still strength 8, -2 AP, flat 2 damage. Lots of people are very disappointed by axes not being flat 3. I'm one of them, but we'll see. There's still 1 or 2 katas we know nothing about. One might be Terminator-centric or Alarus-centric because of keywording, which we'll talk about in a second. Maybe you get extra damage from that kata in combat with axes. Who knows? There could be any number of things to improve axes. And if all this means that Alarus come down in points, I think it's worth a trade. I think I'd rather have them be cheaper and need to dedicate a strat or a specific kata to make them what we want them to, than to pay like 85 points for a Terminator. So I think that's fine. So the other thing that changed is their pilot, their consolidate thing. So previously, Alarus Terminators could move towards characters instead of the nearest model when in pilot and consolidate, as long as they ended up next to an enemy unit. Now it's basically the same, except they must end up next to the character. So that is a very subtle change, but a big change for the worse. It was nice to just be able to say, I'm moving close to that character, but you can really move in almost any direction in that 180 degree arc. And now you actually have to move next to that character. So while often that's what you wanted to do, sometimes you could do some Alarus shenanigans. But now maybe that's why they changed it. I don't know. So now you have to actually move into engagement with that character. So it's a small change. The other thing to note is keywords. So Alarus are core, that's confirmed. Of course, nothing in our codex has the core keyword yet because it's before all the core stuff, but they are core. Terminator, they used to be Alarus custodians, one keyword. Now they are Alarus, custodians. So I wonder about that. That could be significant. Or maybe not, they're just cleaning up the keywords. But that could be significant. The other keyword they now have is called teleport Homer. So they also have the golden light thing, which probably is going to allow them to deep strike. But they have a keyword now called teleport Homer. And we have no idea what that is. And it's on the captain and it's on the Alarus Vexilla too. Teleport Homer keyword. So who knows? That could refer to a strat, that could refer to a kata, that could refer to a relic or rule, or we just don't know, but that's really interesting. So we'll have to wait and see what that is. Okay, so the Alarus shield captain is now 8 wounds. Beast. So the shield captain did go up in wounds to 8 wounds, which is 1 more than the champion. So that guy is pretty beefy now. If we keep the CC traits, which we may not, he'll go up to 10 wounds. He's going to need to degrade if he goes up any higher. Imagine your captain degrades. But so he's up to 8 wounds now and 5 attacks. It might be 6. It's hard to see, but it would be nice if he went up to 6. Let's just say he went up to 6. But and Trajan went up to 6, so maybe the Alarus shield captain also went up to 6. And I think the sword champion has 6 attacks. I can't remember. It'd be weird. I think it's probably 6, but and then basically his rerolls is the same except it's core only. And he has this new Alarus keyword, and he has this teleport Homer keyword. Okay, and we don't know how many points he is. Okay, and now the Vexilla. So now we know what the Vexilla is going to do. We are assuming that the non-Alarus Vexilla has the same Vexilla rules, but the Alarus Vexilla now, firstly, now has the Alarus keyword, because the Alarus Vexilla in the codex before did not have the Alarus keyword. So it now has the Alarus keyword and also has the new teleport Homer keyword. So that's interesting. They have a new rule called something relic. And basically it says you can only have 1 of each type of Vexilla in your army. So no doubling up on effects. I'm not sure why you do that anyway, but you can have 1 of each if you like. So the basically is exactly the same, except now has 7 wounds. So the Alarus Vexilla had 6 wounds. Normal Vexilla had 5. Alarus added 1 at 6, and now this guy has 7 wounds, so he's beefy as well. And I couldn't get a good look at his weapon or gear options. If it's the same where you have you can have a shield with a dagger or like a sword. Like I didn't get a good look at that. It's too blurry. And so the 3 Vexillas now, they have the same names. So the Vexilla Defensor, which it gives shield host core or characters. So now it's core locked and character locked, which we already presumed it would be. Within 6 inches, the benefits of light cover, so +1 save. So that is fine. +1 save. We already loved +1 save on Storm Shields, which made them basically like 1 up or 0 up. So getting +1 save, other than against ignore cover, which kind of sucks, but anyway, basically ignores AP1. And so this makes your guys all 1+ save. That's great. And because it's core, it actually affects the dreads too. Not to tell them on, but it affects our dreadnoughts. Achilles, Galatas now 1-up save. So it's a good aura. And now we don't know how many points the Vexilla is going to be, and so we'll just have to see. But that's a good aura. It's certainly better than the old Defensor. Okay, the Vexilla Imperious was +1 attack before, and it is still +1 attack, of course, just to core. And the Vexilla Magnifica is still -1 to hit, but now it's reworded to give you the benefits of dense cover, so you could lose the -1 hit with ignore cover. But dense cover, I believe, is just -1 to hit, so we retain the -1 to hit aura, although it's now negatable. And that, again, is core or character 6 inches. So, so there we go. So there's the new Vexilla, and I think, depending on points, they're all compelling. I like to say the attack one is the least compelling, but we just don't know how the new army is going to play. We're thinking with the old frame of mind where we just had to be super tough, and so the other two defensive auras seem to be the go-tos, but our new style of play with the champion and everything might be just to bum rush people and like mess people up, and in which case +1 attack might be the bomb, right? So so it's like, yeah, I think we don't know. All three sound like they're decent right now, and it's not majorly different from what it was before. It maybe just kind of puts the Vexilla into context of other things. So we'll see. Hans Yolo, yes, jet bikes are core, so jet bikes will get the benefits of these two. Okay. And that was it. So overall, this oh yeah, now we're gonna talk about Trajan. Okay, Trajan. Okay, where is this picture of Trajan? Okay, so Trajan's picture was one of these leaks. Here, let me put it up here. Add image. What's this image called? This image is called Unknown 5. All right, here's the Trajan. Okay, it's one of these Japanese character pages. Okay. Okay, so Trajan has had some changes. First of all, his model is not changed by the looks of it. Still moves only 6 inches. 2 up, strength 5, toughness 5. 8 wounds now, so Trajan get beef as well. And to be honest, if the shield captain go up to 8, then obviously Trajan got to go up to 8. So he getting beef now. 6 attacks, so that's 1 extra attack from before, which we won't say no to. Having 5 attacks was always kind of shit, so having 6 attacks is great, and maybe that's why the Alarus cap is 6 attacks, but we'll see. So 6 attacks for old Trajan. Leadership 11, as we know, 2-up save. We don't know what's happening to his 3-up invuln. Hopefully he keeps that. We don't know. Hopefully he has Martial Kata rule. And we don't know if he has shield hosts and all that sort of stuff. His shooting looks the same, 24 inches. I think that symbol means rapid fire 1, strength 5, -1, flat 2 damage. So his shooting is still the same. And then he has a normal misericordia as usual. And then his axe is now strength times 2, which it was before, so strength 10. -3 AP, which it was before, and flat 3 damage. So he's got the flat 3 axe. And so if you look in the context of Trajan, now you know why Alarus axes are not flat 3, because it wouldn't make any sense. Well, it might, because they're only strength 8, not strength 10, and they're already minus 2 AP instead of minus 3. But, you know, this is like the relic axe, the watcher's axe. And so finally, Trajan going to be putting out some hurt. No longer will Trajan wade into a company commander, wave his axe 5 times, miss once, fail to wound another time, 2 5-up saves, invuln saves made, and then a D3 damage of 1. So no longer will Trajan be fluffing so hard for that many points. Now, we don't know how many points Trajan is, and we don't know what's happening with the rest of his rules. His auras, if he keeps the same auras, they will obviously be core locked. We don't know what's happening with Moment Shackle. Anything could happen to Moment Shackle. We just don't know. As I said, we don't know what's happening with the 3-up invuln. Hopefully he keeps it. And we don't know if he has any other rules, but and we definitely don't know his points. But just on the basis of his axe getting better, getting an extra wound and an extra attack, we can't say anything bad about Trajan. Trajan is still the man. So that's great. Trajan got some buffs. Okay, guys, so just a short show tonight just to go over some of these leaks. And it looks all good so far from what we can see. There's not really any negative changes except for the fact that the Alarus shenanigans is slightly toned back. Otherwise, it all looks fine. I don't think there's anything to be too unhappy about at the moment. We'll just have to wait for more information. Scout Move Sisters is great. I think everything is looking up so far. And to be honest, I haven't seen anything that's been released so far by GW that hasn't been a little bit exciting. So let's see what happens. Hopefully we'll get more information in the next few days and when the box comes out. And yeah, so stay excited, guys. Thank you for watching this quick show. Thank you for following and subscribing. Join the Discord to be part of this exciting time on the Discord. And we'll see you guys for a proper show possibly next week. All right.